What's the chat not working? We froze up. 4 people in the house. So what I thought we'd do if we get some folks in here wanting to chat. What's up? It's working nice. Uh, right on. You know what I thought we'd do is I don't know, people were bored and wanted to chat. I got my Freshwater Fishes of Ontario book out, and I got some information pulled up online about like the lake sturgeon stuff we were talking about earlier a bit. Boom. Lots of info on them. What's up, Paul? How you doing? I thought we'd make a spinner too, maybe, but so I don't know. It's a species, they're at risk, right? In Ontario, lake sturgeon, and like you said earlier, Steel City. What's up, Stay Fishy? Like you said earlier, Steel City, they're the biggest threat is the dams. I read that up. Bit poor water quality, but that's only improved. That's what I found online. They like to spawn mud, gravel, sand, obviously, usually in rivers, dams. But it seems like the way they explain it, from 5 to 20 meters, they could spawn in Dunnville. They could still, like, Dunnville is set up. It's all rocky down there and it's deep. So, not much. We're just chilling out. Right on, Paul. Good to hear. Awesome. So, anyways, yeah. They can be found from Alberta to the St. Lawrence, obviously. They spawn at Dalhousie. Yeah. You know what? That's another spot that for sure. I mean, they'd be able to spawn. Yeah, exactly. You think of those. So it's almost like when all that stuff was developed and stuff, it's almost like they were trying to think of the fish. Because I think in Dunnville, those are all added stones. What's up, chicken? Did you think? Yeah, man. Yeah, well, you have to think, right? I think. I mean, I think everybody thinks. I think, but so their diet. We can go to. They feed on invertebrates. They consume small river invertebrates such as crayfish, snails, and leeches. They'll eat crustaceans, apparently. Uh, Feed on crustaceans, which are abundant in their habitat. Small fish. They may eat small fish, including fish eggs, and are known to consume other fish when opportunity arises. What's going on there, Karen? Yeah, small fishes and snails. Yeah, zebra mussels, crays. So you think of the zebra mussel populations, that's a lot of food source for them, right? So they're similar to and they're obviously the largest freshwater species in North America. I think worldwide. Or no, in North America, anyways. Gobies. So there you go. Gobies too. Yeah. So you'd think the changes in like with our environments, besides the dammings and all that, but the recent changes in the last 20 years with gobies and zebra mussels, or 30 years now, you'd think that that could be helping the lake sturgeon, right? Now, I wanted to talk about where they're in season. I don't think they're ever in season, but I think in like that Timmins area and zone, you can catch them, release them, like legally. I just don't think you can keep them. Um, they have four sensory whiskers, barbels, located in the front of their mouths, which help them detect food, of course. in the murky waters where they often reside. So that means murky waters, like I always thought, oh, they're clean, they like clear water, right? Because you think of like Lake Simcoe is fairly clear. Some of the Great Lakes they're in are fairly clear, especially in like the St. Clair River. They're all up in there and whatnot, right? And all that's fairly clear water, like through Lake St. Clair. Detroit River, I'm sure has some. I know they were doing some like Stateside was doing more uh, spawning grounds, building spawning grounds for them. I think in the Detroit River and the St. Clair River. Are you from Tasmania? Yeah, cool. You probably got some pretty cool fish to catch there. Their ecological role or as benthic feeders, lake sturgeon play an important role on their ecosystems by helping control invertebrate populations and contributing to the nutrient cycle within their habitats. Their feeding behavior also to maintain the health and aquatic environment by disturbing sediments and promoting the growth of beneficial organisms. In summary, lake sturgeon have a diverse diet that includes invertebrates, crustaceans, and small fish. Okay, we already read that. They utilize their unique sensory adaptations to locate food, so we read that. I don't know, they're a pretty cool fish. I've never caught one. They're on my bucket list. There's tons online about them, obviously. You know their lifespans. Males typically live for 55 years, it says online here. What's up, John C? Some individuals reaching over 100 years old. Lake sturgeons are known for their remarkable longevity, making them one of the longest living freshwater species. Pretty cool. It'd be cool if I had StreamYard or something because we could do backdrops. We could see like clips behind us and stuff like that. I'm working on it. It's just pricey, and I went on to it and I was having trouble connecting to it. And I found too any of the free like trials or anything with StreamYard, you get a lower quality stream quality too. So you pretty much have to pay for it if you ask me. Um, So, anyways, females can live for 80 to 150 years old. So it sounds like the females live longer. However, they found this information out. Who knows? It's all just online research I found. Uh, Lake sturgeons are known for their remarkable longevity. Okay, yeah, we read that. All right. Um, we'll go to where they can be found. Let's see. So, three known facts. Um, on them is they're an ancient species, of course. They look like a dinosaur, right? Yeah, for sure they are, Karen. I've never caught one. There's a place I can target one up in Timmins, but I haven't done that yet. Next year, and I hope to get a burbot. It'd be nice to catch a burbot this winter, and that's another species. And again, that's another kind of dinosaur species. If you ask me, we can research some of that too. But yeah, well, that's pretty much the same here, John. Pretty much all of the Canadian side Great Lakes. I think stateside has a small season that opens up, and they close it whenever. I forget how that works. That's something we can look at too, talking about sturgeons. But Canada side, any Great Lake sturgeons are off limits. Up in Timmins, there's a river that has them. I don't think they're as large, but they're a lot of fun. Like, I mean, you can still catch a pretty good sturgeon, and it's a sturgeon, right? So that's where I want to target one. Oh, New York has catch and release? Okay. Well, maybe is Atlantic sturgeon the same as lake sturgeon? Because we can check that out too. All right, so they're an ancient species, lake sturgeon. I can't pronounce this. Aspanocer pelusians have existed for over 150 million years, making them one of the oldest fish species still in existence today. Obviously, they must hear. Actually, it says here they are often referred to as living fossils. Oh, okay. Due to their ancient lineage and primitive features, such as the cartilage skeletons, bony plates called scutes. Yeah, they're like dinosaurs, right? Here's the thing with them too. They take a long time to reach maturity to spawn. So actually, with males, 8 to 22 years for a male. So I guess that's not too bad. And females, 14 to 33 years. But it is, if you think about it, 14 years it's got to live before it can spawn. What's up there, my traveling gypsy terret? Appreciate you coming in. Pretty good. I'm doing all right. Okay, so the conservation status here it says. Um, oh, actually, here's the deal with them too. As much as they take that long to be able to spawn, a single female can produce between 350,000 to 3 million eggs during a spawning, which occurs in shallow gravelly areas of rivers and lakes from April to June. They're spring spawners. Kind of a different stream, guys. I thought we'd come on and see if we could talk about like a certain fish species. Anybody else can pitch in their thoughts on the sturgeon. We can search stuff. Hope to get it better with StreamYard and stuff, and where we can share clips and I can pre-research stuff. But I got this book as well. It has a bunch of stuff on the sturgeon. This book pretty much has, I think, every freshwater species. I don't think it has the goby. I could be wrong because that's a new species, and we'll see. I've never looked to see if it has the white perch, but I think it does. So they're a threatened species. Lake sturgeon populations have declined significantly to overfishing, habitat loss, and dam construction that distributes their migratory routes. Conservation efforts are ongoing to restore their populations, including hatchery programs and strict fishing regulations. I've never fished in Alberta. I really want to. Like, I know there's the Bow River, and the trout. They have good trout fishing there, and there's also burbot, like right in those cold water rivers. I think North Alberta has some of the best pike fishing you can find, size wise, and really deep lakes. Same thing with Saskatchewan, but no, Alberta, I'd love to fish it. So Lake Sturgeon hold historical importance in indigenous cultures across North America, where they've been a source of food and cultural identity for centuries. And it says here these fun facts highlight the unique biology, behavior, and conservation challenges of lake sturgeon, making them a remarkable species to learn about. Oh, really? The Hudson River. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's sad that they're not in abundance. And is there a lot of commercial fish in there, John, with in the Hudson area? I don't know if there is or not. What's up there, Northern? How you doing? We're gonna talk about sturgeon. Yeah, we've been talking a bit about sturgeon, just to whatever I could find online. I kind of read about a bit. Um, Folks in the chat, obviously, our good friends in the chat are adding in their information. And oh, really, John? I missed that. Oh, NJ Fisherman while striper fishing, eh? Hmm. So they are listed as an endangered species here, which it sounds like they are there. But there is a catch and release in New York. Steel City was saying we haven't got to regs. I'll check Ontario regs and then I'll try to look a little bit on North America regs. Yeah, I would imagine they're protected. Yeah, they are, and there is some in there would have to be some in Lake Nipissing. You know, you think of Lake Nipissing and how it runs across. Oh, what's the Ottawa River go into it on one end or no? If not, with the West Arm French River systems, there's no way there's not big sturgeon down in there. Bunker herring, etc. Because I don't know whether nothing was mentioned about commercial fishing on anything we searched, but I heard back in the day that was a big problem because nets were expensive and took a lot of time to repair. So I don't know how many years we're going back here. I could type it in to see what the internet says about it. Um, it pretty much it spans like it shows me Ontario and Quebec. Uh, for up here, like the whole map, like they can be found all the way across Ontario and Quebec. It tells me here. I don't know why it's only. Oh, because I'm probably in. No, I'm not in an Ontario only site. And they are in there. Yeah, yeah. And hopefully their numbers are growing because they very well could. I mean, there is some dams in but there's enough straight river without a dam at a West Arm that I think sturgeon, and it does go into like a rocky zone and stuff like that. And it is the depths from 5 to 20 meters. There's some spots. So like over in what is it? I'm trying to think of the small little town's name. You'd be very familiar with it. It's slipping my mind. It's not Sturgeon Falls, but it's this way of Sturgeon Falls towards Sudbury, and you turn left, and there's a launch for the Highway 64, and they have it's not for West. Uh, it's not West Arm. It's way over, almost halfway up. I don't know if you know where I'm talking about. Verner. I think it's Verner. I'm thinking of Verner. Um, you head south from Verner, and you ended up, anyways. That area there, they have a lot of depths, and I think that spot alone, sturgeon would just love. And then there's you go further up, and it turns into rapids without dams. So, and commercial fishing, I know nothing's been talked about commercial fishing being a problem, but I know back in the day, I always heard that sturgeon were being slaughtered, and of course their eggs are like caviar, right? You've all heard that, I think. So for the Great Lakes region, it's also known as the rock sturgeon. It's the largest and oldest native species found in the Great Lakes. Despite their name, lake sturgeon can also be found in rivers. Again, it just says eat tiny invertebrates found on lake and river bottoms, such as snails, crayfish, leeches, and clams. So the zebra mussels, Steel City mentioned this information without even searching it up. But with the zebra mussels, you think that's a huge food source for them then? And I know like pufferfish, the southern pufferfish, they love clams and hard shells, right? Okay, fish online, yeah. So I'm searching just regular like Google search or whatever. But yeah, no doubt. I mean, but one place they can be targeted is Timmins. Catch and release, of course. You wouldn't want to get caught keeping one. I think even if there's no way. Popular is August and September to catch them after, like, hey, the sturgeon moon, right? Um, so currently, Lake Sturgeon is only protected under the Fisheries Act. It's currently not protected under the Species at Risk Act. That's for obviously Ontario. Uh, its conservation status is under COSWIC, whatever that means, but it's under consideration to be added, whatever that means. I wish we could look at this picture. It's like a smaller sturgeon, looks to be about 30 inches, and that's a common catch for where I'll target one. Not much ATC. 1, 2, and 3, you believe have catch and release? Awesome. Okay, thanks, Steel City. We can check that out, or unless you have. What's going on, Lumi? Yeah, same here. Actually, exactly, Steel City. Yeah, small ones being caught. You're right, because if one is accidentally caught, it seems to be a pretty big one. You always hear. Like, I know, I say a few years back, but I bet you it's like 7 years back now. One was caught at the Port Dover Pier, caught and released, right? And that's a big commercial fishing area of the Great Lakes, technically. But anyways, apparently one was caught there. Um, yeah, you did. You caught two small ones fishing gar last year. That's a really good sign. Okay, so is that the St. Lawrence River, or a tributary off the St. Lawrence or something that you caught that? What's going on, Alan, bro? Good to see you, dude. If comes back in too, I meant to throw him blue earlier. Was that the St. Lawrence? Now, were they harvested? They harvested their eggs and threw them back? Because I know, like, the eggs are a huge deal for them. Like, that's a lot of poachers. If there's poaching going on for sturgeon, it's for the eggs, usually. For eggs, yeah. Yeah, which is sad. So, like, to get that under control, and I think we'd be good, for the caviar. Yeah, it's terrible. Now, you think, I mean, there's hatcheries for them, but I guess probably you can't. It's not something easily you can farm, like the farm sturgeon, and to get them, if they take 14 years to get to that spawning age. Yeah, that's terrible, John. Yeah. Canada has committed to the goal of protecting 30% of land's ocean freshwater in Canada by 2030. I wonder what that means. That's the first I've heard of this, guys. It kind of makes me concerned, you know? Because I've never heard of this before. And it's not saying it's like it's just for sturgeon. Canada has committed to the goal of protecting 30% of lands and ocean and fresh water in Canada by 2030. This goal will help protect ecosystems, restore habitats, and fight climate change, as these things are a step in protecting Canada's at-risk animals. So I don't know what they mean. They don't give any information on that. Well, as long as I can still fish everywhere and nothing changes that way, I'm all for protecting the sturgeon, and I thought we already had been. What's up, Garrow? I have seen that one before, actually. Garrow, I have. Was only native to America? A bull red? A bull red? Or bullhead? I've seen that one, though. I have seen that. Like little. Okay. Now we get into related topics on this one. We got the American badger. That'd be neat to talk about. We got the American eel and the Canadian warbler bird. Anyways, we're talking fish. Couldn't take them out of the water. No barbed hooks. Uh, yeah, that's a good plan. And I think that's how it is in BC for the sturgeon fishing. They're big, huge hooks that are barbless. They put a hunk of meat on them, and I think that's how they release them too. And you see all these pictures of them sitting in the water with them. So that's Canada side. So same thing with me. It sounds like they do that there. You always see them in the water with the big long fish, and I think that's the hook looks like a big barbless hook that they're using. Yeah, congrats on that, Lumi. Yeah. So yeah, living fossils, they're totally dinosaur fish. I think it's super important that they replenish one way or another, you know. I've got to see one up close swimming in the tank at Ripley's Aquarium, but that's as close as I've come to one in person. You do, a Canadian fisherman? Well, welcome in. Thanks for coming in, bro. Anything over 4 feet, we don't take them out of the water. Oh, okay, is that how that works? Okay. Because I only thought that because I keep seeing them releasing them and they're in the water constantly taking the pictures. Sometimes the whole group gets in the water and they take one big photo. I've seen that so many times. Yeah. Or like you say, Alan, keep them in the water. Now you can watch for Ontario side. There's some YouTube videos of people catching sturgeon. That's how I found out where to catch one, where I can catch and release one. Okay. Oh, you got to rub the belly. Oh, that's cool. So if I search up, I got like suggestions here, like what threats do lake sturgeon face, or how to help lake sturgeon conservation. I think we searched that kind of. We searched their diet. Lake sturgeon predators. I wouldn't imagine there is any. Probably us. But let's find out what it says for that. What are the predators of sturgeons? Oh, okay. Good question, ATC. And thanks for asking it. So the only time they have a predator is in the egg stage and in the fry stage, of course, right? By the time a sturgeon 20 inches or more, its only predator is humans. So I was right. So as soon as that sturgeon is 20 inches, that's because nothing eats it. It's you'd think it's still at 20 inches have risk from a bird, one way or another. I mean, maybe a bird can't. 20 inches. I don't know. We've recently had a burst in the population of cormorants, and some of them will choke on a fish, but maybe not because of how bony and scaly they are, and the bird knows not to eat them. We stock a ton of non-native species. Um, well, I guess the salmon aren't not native, so all that. Now, were walleye native to Lake Erie before that program? Maybe. Yeah, yeah, big heron and a 20-inch fish, maybe. And then I thought, John, well, maybe it's the scales and the boniness that bird's just like it's not, don't knows it's not its meal. But maybe you're right. Oh, okay, okay. Thanks, John. Good point. Good. Thanks for searching that up or having that knowledge to put in the chat. Okay. I don't want to miss all these good comments too. On some maps for walleye, Pacific salmon, browns, and rainbows. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? The Atlantic salmon species, it's in growing numbers. They like the Port Dover, and they spawn. They'll spawn the Port Dover Dam there at Silver Lake. Like yearly in Atlantic gets caught out front of Port Dover all the time. Like in the pier fishing. Open on the laptop? No, I should do that though, eh, bud? No, because I'm searching sturgeon stuff on the laptop, but I might be able to do both. I know it's easier to read the chat, right? Yeah, I know that's how I should have it, bro. But I'm searching, but I might be able to do like a combination thing here. That's why I really want StreamYard for doing topic chats and streams. Whoops. Boom, I'll rock that like button, might as well, eh? Um, Here, that's not much better. Uh, really, eh? Are they gonna introduce them in like the Hudson River area and stuff? Lamprey. That's sturgeon bait? It's crazy how expensive lamprey is. Is that a freshwater lamprey they'd be using for that? Or is it one of the best, eh? Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. Huh. Um, I appreciate that. Canadian fisherman. I'm gonna throw you blue in case there's anyone you wanna connect to real easy. What else am I missing? Sturgeon stuff. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay, okay. There we go. Nice. Nice. Dude, that's a huge sturgeon. See, I didn't get over to her channel after ATC and check it out. Um, Dude, that's a big fish. Big, big. I'm the 177th like on it. Nice. Um, yeah, everybody, Lumi in the chat there. I don't know if anybody hasn't seen that or know of Lumi's channel, but that's an amazing fish. I'm gonna go over there again and because I think you mentioned you had three. Um, Getting a lot of good view count too. Um, yeah, releasing a dinosaur. So awesome. In Idaho, eh? Idaho. So would that like be the Idaho River? Oh, let me go back to. Holy, 48-inch girth? 10 foot 2? 48-inch girth? 2 feet times 2. Wow, that's huge. Okay, nice. Okay, so sturgeons are the largest freshwater fish in the world, it says here. There's a couple different kinds of sturgeons. So, like in Europe, there's a beluga sturgeon. It reaches 6 meters in length. 6 meters. That's a big fish. So, they occur in the coastal and fresh waters of the northern hemisphere. There could be sturgeon, you never know, in Antarctica. Maybe not though. What's up there, Garden? How you doing? We're chatting. Thanks, Garden. I so appreciate that, eh? I think you're right. Like the ones I'll be able to get on, they won't be as big. But I mean, unless I go to BC, of course, and go on a trip that way. But here in Ontario, for me to target one, I think Timmins is my only option. They're just not known to get that big there. All right. Okay. Sturgeon themselves were commercially fished. It says here in my book. Between the mid 1800s and early 1900s, they were slaughtered, like for keeping, like for. I'm assuming it must have been the caviar then too. I think there were sturgeon soups. They were. I don't think any of the people that actually harvested them. I don't think they wasted them. Like the bones would have been good for tools and for like aboriginals and stuff like that. They would have been like all of a sturgeon would have been used up. Still harvest them? Yeah. So it says shortly thereafter, Lake sturgeon virtually disappeared from the Great Lakes. And it says only after a century of our population. Wait a minute. After a century, our population starting to show signs of recovery. Again, the 4 barbells is always mentioned. It says same stuff. 5 rows of bony scutes, which are those plates. Oh, and they disappear in large adults. The tail is asymmetric or asymmetric, whatever. Oh, okay, and upturned, young or gray or brown. So, like, I've seen a lot of the ones that I could target. White sturgeon and respected were harvested and respected. Yeah, okay. So the ones I see, like up in Timmins, that Timmins River I'm talking about, trying to catch them, they're kind of brownish. So that's just a younger lake sturgeon. Have tags? I would imagine they do. We can look that up. If anyone who wants to search that up, I would imagine they have been caught in GPS. I don't know if there's. I know stateside Karen did a lot more than Canada side. Besides, well, what can the Canada side more or less did is just said, "Oh, don't touch them, leave them alone." But stateside did a lot more work in like spawning grounds and rehabilitation and stuff like that. Um, oh, that's cool. That's neat. Canadian fisherman. Canadian fishman. I mean, that's your at tag, but is the name Canadian fisherman on the channel? I'll check it out. I think I stopped by your channel and I'm subbed, but I'll double check that the bell's on and all that. The Snake River in Idaho? Okay, Lumi. So reproduction. Um, mm, that's the deal here. It says in spring, adults migrate up to 400 kilometers to spawn in fast-flowing streams. Um, See, and that's going right back to where you think about that before any of the dams were in place. Oh, okay. Can you? Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 Well, I think you should. Well, do your thing. So I think that's pretty cool. Migrate up to 400 kilometers, fast flowing streams. My guess is they'd probably, I don't know, because the dams change everything, right? But the dam without those dams, the houses and stuff, we'd have more flood zones and stuff like that. Like it'd be so serious because all of a sudden you just have flash flooding all the time. At least with the dams, all that can be controlled. There's really in my book, there's one page on sturgeon pretty much, and that's it. In the Ontario book, anyways. So yeah, the reproduction. Spawning occurs when temps are between 13 Celsius and 21 Celsius. So to me, that would be June, really. Um, Nests are not built, but rather the fertilized adhesive eggs. Okay, so the eggs attached to rocks and logs. The lake sturgeon is a slow to mature. We already read that. Which males first spawning at 20 in the book, it says, and males 25. The online information I read off was slightly less than that. But I think the online information was from a certain age to a certain age. And a female, even at that age, will only spawn every 6 years, roughly, it says here. 4 to 6 years. But again, it says here in this book, it might release 500,000 eggs depending on their age and size. Now, the other information we found was 300 to or was it 350,000 to 3 million. So I guess it depends where we get our information from, more or less. Oh, June is when you, oh, you see them in June? Nice, Steel City. I think you're right, and I think that I don't know whether they would have ran up to Brantford in the rocky flow of Brantford right by the casino. And that's all ancient native Aboriginal grounds in there. All that stretch in Brantford. Yeah, my guess is they before the dams they swam up there and that's where they'd spawn. My guess that's a pretty good stretch from Lake Erie. I don't know, but I think when they put the dams in, they did try to make habitat. You see Caledonia Dam. As crazy as it sounds, when I go out there and I walk along those rocks, then it drops down. There's all big boulders down in there. And then Caledonia, the Dunville Dam, that's like 35 feet of water. 30, 35 feet of water. So that's your 5, 6, 7 meters, right? 7 meters, something like that. It's like they were trying to put a little bit of fish habitat when they put all that stuff together. But I bet you they would have swam all the way up to Brantford or further. Who knows? Okay, since 2000, tagged, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. BC does a lot more. BC, I'm saying Ontario side, they don't do. I mean, all they do is, I think, from what I understand, is they have them protected, and their rocky areas made at their dams. But other than that, they just protect them that way. But I know like BC, I think does a lot more Canada side. But like for the Great Lakes, stateside is doing more to protect them, if you ask me. All right, so oh no, not the wrong one here. Um, for Ontario, it's the Great Lakes, Upper St. Lawrence, Lake of the Woods, Rainy River, Southern Hudson Bay, and James River populations. Now, I think for some reason right now up there, that's where I don't know if they're still being harvested pretty good up there in the Hudson Bay, but I think it was their climate change or who knows what. Want to catch big ones again and update their GPS trackers. Yeah. So that's all my Ontario book pretty much has. 2 pages on it. Um, they say there's 25 species of sturgeons, and all 25 are at risk, like in total. And I'm gonna say that's only one is found in Ontario of that 27 species here, and that'll be the lake sturgeon. So I guess that the fish in the Timmins River are the same fish, well, genetically as the Great Lakes sturgeon. Does this have a paddlefish section? For some reason, I don't think it does. It should have. I'm gonna check here. I mean, now what they do with this book, it's set up in 2 spots. Where trouts and okay, lamprey, sturgeons, 97. That's where we just were. Uh, be under like filter for feeders, eh? We got gars, we got bullfins, moon eyes, minnows, tench, xenocarps, suckers, North American catfishes, pikes and mud minnows, Smelts trouts and salmons, trouts and perches for whatever, why it says that way. Because there's a salmonoid, trout perches, and then trouts and salmons. Interesting. We'll have to check that out. Cods, New World silver sides, top minnow, stickleback, sculpins, temperate basses, sunfish and basses, perch and darters, drum and croakers, and gobies. So gobies are in here. Paddlefish. I don't think they're in this book. I don't think so. I know there's lots I didn't cover myself on this end. Buffalo are cool fish too. Yeah, they are Steel City. Um, yeah, and they are, and they say that they've been extinct since. But I know it's kind of funny though. You get just stateside south of the Great Lakes, and they're there. And why the it's dams and then food population. I think, right? Isn't that what it is? Planktons. Um, that's how many pop-ups sometimes what comes up on my phone. What's the name of that book? It's a field guide to the fresh waters of Ontario. I bought it from the Museum of Rome in Toronto. Erling Holm is and it says Nicholas Mandrake and Mary Birdridge. It's actually a very popular book, apparently. I think I paid a couple years back, 39 bucks for it or something. I just thought it was cool to have. Now this one's gotten beat up a bit, and it's like I want to mint one for the library eventually. Yeah, the Buffalo's tanks. Yeah, heavy commercial, and I guess like I thought Lake Ontario was pretty much clear of was pretty much clear of that slipped my mind there for a second, but I'm gonna search out that actually. I've searched it before. Yeah, so they're extirpated or whatever. Uh, Paddlefish. It's large filter feeding fish. I mean, this is just information I'm gonna read. Like I search and see online, but paddle-shaped nose. This species has extirpated. I'm not saying that right. My bad, guys. I don't think in Canada with observations of wild paddlefish being made prior to 1913. So that's a quite some time. I don't know when the whole Lake Ontario die-off happened. When they Well, what year did they bring carp here? Their whole big story on that. I think carp were here long before that too. Before they brought carp over for any Great Lake purpose, I believe they were already here too. From you know, the first boats that were coming across, right away they took tobacco back over. They were doing this. This stuff was going on where they're bringing species over. We're talking, okay, they say the squirrels got on the boat by accidentally and we mixed squirrels with England. And you guys know all these stories, right? Like over many years ago. So I think common carp, they were here long before that whole bring them over to the Great Lake or Lake Ontario story. They were they were speciesing back and forth for from day one, from the next trip back over to the next trip back over and whatnot. Yeah, no doubt. I guess it would. Yeah. So, but paddlefish was likely never common in the Canadian portion of its range. So that's a good one. There are only three verified reports of the species in Ontario waters in Lake Huron, which you think, and that would be I think a fish that from the south got into that northern edge a bit. If this is true, right? So hopefully by next September, I'll catch one of those sturgeon, the legal ones in Timmins, and get content on it and everything else. I think I'd have a blast. I think we've talked about this before. I think my Steel City and Paul's Way, we've talked about it. Or I think myself and Steel City have talked about going up to Timmins for get a wherever camp out or hotel and go up there for a day or two and fish sturgeon. I mean, I definitely really, really want to. I think it's too late now, but for this year. But anyways, that was kind of cool. I don't know, anyone else have anything to add? I know there's so much more we could learn on sturgeon, but and like two different things I found online gave me slightly different information too. So I would imagine they do have a creek chub. Fish. I would imagine they do have fall fish. Um, it has it broken down to the families too. So would that be in the chubs and it would be in that family, eh? Hmm. Here's all our red horses. There's six of them. Six different species of the red horse sucker, right? And I catch more than the one species. I think I was catching the golden red horse on the weekend. I don't think they were the actual plain river red horses, in which I do catch them. I think I was catching these in that spot of the river. But we're looking for fall fish, eh? They got the quillback in here, bigmouth buffalo, black smallmouth buffalo or hybrid, goldfish and common carp. So goldfish and common carp, that mix is a species in the Ontario's book right here. Let's see if it shows that lateral line. It kind of does, you know that? Um, no barbels, right? Yeah, so it's kind of funny in the Ontario book, we do have goldfish and common carp. So whether they're considering that a hybrid species that we have in our waters, which I guess they are, and then it has the common carp. Now I could see the goldfish and common carp mix being more of an invasive species for the waters, but um, I got a Bass Pro. I got a Bass Pro and Vistaprint ad on my going into my stream here. And you know what? The grass carp is listed in here, and very rarely a grass carp is caught by a hook in a mouth. Yeah, it's fun, right? I mean, we're all into the outdoors and fishing. It's always fun talking about fish species, even if it's not just one species. And the quillbacks. The quillbacks are listed as an Ontario species at the top there. Big head carp, occasionally caught. Yeah. So I think the grass carp and the big head carp, I mean, I know it's tough to see here, but they look like way different. So the big head carp, I think, is that main big invasive, more of a worry. I think those are the ones that leap out of the water. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh yeah. Well, things have changed since we've been as the years have gone by. Like a tench. Has anyone ever caught a tench? This is what a tench looks like up at the top there. You know, it almost looks like it has a catfish tail. It almost looks like bass skin or catfish skin. One barbell on each side of its mouth. Pretty cool. And then the silver carp is the potential invader. Black carp, potential invader. Grass carp. You know what? The grass carp isn't listed as a potential invader, but these three other carps are. And again, the common carp's not listed as a potential invader. Believe it or not, the goldfish and common carp isn't listed as that in this book, anyways. Small populations of tench. Okay, cool. There's all our shiners in this book. Got lots of shiners, eh? And then there's minnows with small scales. Tons of minnow species, eh? Oh, it does have the fall fish, and it's under river chub. It's in the chubs, ATC. So here it says fall fish, large mouth, upper jaw usually extends past the front of the eye. 43 to 50 lateral scales. But that's just in this section, which means there's probably another write-up on them. Because that's the way the book is. You'll have all your fish pictures, and then it'll get into the write-ups on them. So we'll go and check it out. But yeah, it's in there with the chubs. Minnows and exeniocarp. So which are the chubs and different stuff, eh? You know, they got that grass carp right underneath that fall fish too. This carp spawn like 90. I mean, a lot of schools that look like shiners or something to some people, they're probably carps. Carps, I've seen a lot of carp babies schooling together, and you know, when they're that small, when they're really small, carp, they look like a school of bait fish, like just like you'd see a pack of emerald shiners or whatever. Yeah, they'll give a good fight. I've even had some, you know, hornhead creek chub that seem to really be feisty, you once you get them hooked. But yeah, fall fish. There's our sunfishes and basses. Let's see. You know what? What I keep calling a green sunfish, it's hard to say because you look at the green sunfish in this book and then the northern sunfish, they're so close. Top one there is that northern sunfish, and then I think the green one's right down here somewhere. You guys see it by my hand here? It's pretty neat. So what am I catching? The northern sunfish or the green sunfish? I'm gonna say they're the green sunfish, but and then the warmouth in this picture. Oh no, okay. And the orange spotted sunfish are a thing, and I definitely catch those, usually on the Grand River, Lake Erie species. Pretty neat. Trout and perches. So that's your walleye, your yellow perch, your sauger, your roughy, your roughy. Hmm. And trout perch, which would be a log perch, I would think. No. Johnny Darter, River Darter, Channel. Let's see if the log perch is in here. The darters are cool, always cool fish. Um, and hard to see. You have to kind of. You get them in minnow traps now and then. I've even hit a rainbow darter on a small spinner, believe it or not. But yeah, so that river darter must be the log perch. Anyways, let's see if they have a write-up on the fall fish here. Lampreys, few different species of lampreys. Long-nosed gar, spotted gar. The bowfins are another dinosaur species as well. Small whitefish, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've only caught one whitefish in my time, eh? Maybe this winter I'll be able to get on another one. You know, I got a lot of meat off that one whitefish though. It you know, some big fillets. I cut all the when I cleaned the fish and like along the lateral line or some spot it was you know all the red meat. I cut all that off. Now that holds all the toxins, right? There's the alewife. Yeah, so the alewife is like a small shad. Exactly right. Abundance of those. I mean, there's so much bait. I mean, that is I think the bait fish of Lake Ontario. Like that is the emerald shiner. Lake Erie, the emerald shiners. It's like in Lake Ontario. Totally different ecosystem, eh? Here's the goldfish. So where are we? We got to get into the chubs and all that. And here we go. Lake chub. I might have passed it. River chub. It's got to be coming up. Coming up, I guess. So they call it a river chub in here, but I know them as like the hornhead chub. Unless they're trying to right side dance. River chub. River shiner. Which that looks like the. Ooh, the rudd is in this book, eh? Where's that fall fish? Oh, really? So what's the end up of your phone? You have to like save up some coin. It's so weird. Like they're when we go in the xenocarps. Okay, buffalo, like red horse. Where's that fall fish? Back. We're into the catfishes. You know, and I've never seen so many stone cats. They're part of the Matom family. You guys know, I got on them in two spots at the river this year. One in Paris, it's like they were never ending. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Central mud minnow, grass pickerel. Seems to be bouncing around. We're into the pikes, smelts, salmons, brook trouts, ciscos. I must have passed that. Greenside darter. No, log perch is separate. They're pretty cool fish. They stay small, but I think I caught a 7-inch one once at Pier 7. There's the river darter, so I don't know why it's roughies, sauger. So I guess those roughies are, I wonder if they're edible. I mean, they're right in there with they're in that perch family. Oh, okay. It's native to Europe, and they were introduced to Lake Superior through ballast water, of course. Hmm. I've never caught a roughie, I don't think. Oh, hey Amy, how's it going? Thanks for coming in. I'm doing okay. How about you? You know what we're doing? We're checking out, we got off the sturgeon topic, and we were talking about fall fish, and we talked about paddlefish for a minute. The brook stickleback is pretty cool too. Man, I wanted to see what they actually said on the fall fish here. Those tenches look pretty cool. Again, native to Europe and Asia, was introduced to North America in the late 1800s for sport fishing. All these fish, like I said, so this is stuff that we're reading in here from day one. The day a boat entered in that St. Lawrence and came to shore in Canada, North America, the West, whatever you want to say. Man, the next boat went back. They took stuff that they didn't have there, and vice versa. It's just what they did for whatever reason. I mean, tobacco being one of the first things they took back, I think it was. Or tobacco seeds, tobacco and tobacco seeds. Okay, river chub. That fall fish has got to be right in here. Unless they skip it in the in like the actual write-up page on it. Yeah, I don't think they actually like, unless I'm not finding it here. Yeah, it should have been right there with those chubs. Lake chub, actually, wait a minute. Hornhead chub, gravel chub, golden shiner. That's a big risk for golden shiners with the ruds. Lost lot in eastern Pennsylvania. Okay. Yeah, we got a lot of chubs. Every creek that has rocks in it and a bit of flow has chub in it. Here's the fall fish. Found it. Nice. I was gonna say, because everything listed should have another section of it, of the write-up on it. Okay, banner refers to the dorsal fin, a variation of its original name, Corporel, or something like that, original name for it. The fall fish is the largest native minnow in Ontario. Um, Not all minnows are small, and not all small fishes are minnows. That's what it says here. Description: the fall fish is a large, silvery, slightly deep-bodied fish. The snout slightly overhangs the large mouth. There's a small triangular flat-like barbel in a groove above the upper lip. Okay. I commonly don't catch them, and Lake Ontario is full of them. So you'd pretty much think that I would have caught one in my creeks, but maybe I have, and I thought it was a common shiner because they look similar. Me looking at them here. Um. Okay, a similar species is the common shiner. So it's hard to say whether or not I've caught one and just thought it was a common shiner. Mm, Aquatic instance, taken at the surface, crustaceans and small fishes. Reproduction, the fall fish spawns in September. Okay, September. When the water temperature is above 16 Celsius still, so they would have spawned already. Streams with gravel bottoms. The males move stone with its nose. Build up an amount around 90 centimeters high. That's pretty cool. They kind of build a nest. And males establish hierarchy by budding and biting other males. Okay. And a lot of fish do that. I mean, that's part of it when you throw a spinner and they whack it. Sometimes it's that territorial. Oh, okay. Bob can catch a lot of them. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, chubs, you'd think they can get around pretty good, but you figure, okay, Steel City. Um, so, Amy, you doing okay? She might have left, but only 5 people in the house. We got 27 likes. Um, Small ones are mistaken for creek chubs. John, I probably caught a couple of them and mistaken them as either common shiners, probably even this year. In my creek, there'd be no where I catch all them little tiny different species. That's fall fish like that. I'm sure I've caught one and then just mistaken the identity of it. But yeah, right on. Now, how far are you, ATC, from that area? So I know obviously he's stateside, but would he just be south of you? Anything? It was about 12 inches, eh? Yeah, I know people catch them on spoons, trolling for salmon out in Lake Ontario, apparently. All right, let's see if I got a. Let's see if I got a blade there easily to find, and we'll throw together a spinner bait. I think we'll do that. Well, we'll attempt to, anyways. How about that? Now, hmm. Oh, okay, so that's quite a distance. Now, there we go. We got a blade. We got a blade. Now, let me just check because I got a couple different diameters of. Now, there's our spinner class. We need those. I think we should go kind of a gold kind of theme, match the, and we'll put a little bit of red in it, using a red bead, and I think we'll throw a glow in the dark bead. And then for weight, we'll use tungsten gold color weights. I think we'll do that. Looks like a walleye blade. Yeah, so if I remember correctly, a walleye blade. I think it's Colorado blade by the name. I think this one is. I think that's a Colorado. Could be wrong. All right, it's what I ordered them as. I got like 12 of them. I wonder what gauge is. I think that's got to be like 25 gauge, maybe 22 gauge. I mean, it's way thinner. It's thinner than 20, maybe even 18 gauge. Neat though. It's technically, you cut out a shape and then you have a plug. And I think the old school way would be setting the piece of cutout down and stamping it technically, right? I mean, yeah, there's presses and stuff like that probably. But I mean, really, you could probably make your own blades old school. What's up there, Glenn? How you doing? Welcome in there, Glenn. We've been chatting, we were chatting about sturgeon and stuff, and I read some stuff offline. Just like a quick, I know we didn't cover everything, but we could have covered a lot more and gone probably more in depth, of course, but it was fun to chat about. What else we got here? I'm adding blues back because obviously why not? And I'm not gonna have some blue, not some blue, because everybody's blue worthy. That's the whole thing about the moderators thing, right? It's everybody's worthy. So it's like, what do you do? The old blue thing, right? All right. What do we got here? Um, I don't think we want to go with these. Let's go glow in the dark. So we add some glow in the dark to it. I said gold, and I think we better go with the gold. These are like a rainbowy tungsten bead. They're 4.6 mil, and they're tungsten. Apparently, they're heavy, so I get they feel like they'd be tungsten. I don't know why it would be false advertised if that's the case. So there's our gold beads because we're gonna stick gold, and we'll go gold flash. The only problem is this is not gonna be gold. Whatever. Right on, guys. I hope David Bennett's doing okay, guys. He's under the weather. Potentially, he has COVID. Potentially. Who knows? Well, I think classic spinnerbait, a classic spinnerbait always has that, I would say, that red egg on the bottom, no? I guess not all of them do. This one's going to. And then I think right away we go with the glow in the dark. And you never know. I don't know how well these glow. We should see quick. Just charge them up and shut off the lights and see how they glow. Maybe they don't glow at all. I think they would. Hang on. We'll charge them up quick here. Oh, they glow. Oh, they glow good. They do. You never know what you're gonna get, though. You know what I mean? Like, look at how well they glow. I don't even have to turn the lights off. Boom. Those glow really good. right? Nice, nice. They grow, yeah. I wasn't sure how they were gonna be, but they really glow big time, eh? Whoops, man, go like that. Now we need, oh, that's slightly bigger than the, we might have to go glow in the dark first and then red. It's just the sizing. Let's think about this for a minute. No, I think we're gonna have to go glow in the dark first. That's pretty big. I mean, I like them, but that is a pretty big bead. Um, that's the problem, eh? I won't even, I'll look for that after. You end up with stuff all over the floor sometimes. These things drop all over the place. Yeah, I get that. I hear my little ones are still up. It'll be probably 9 o'clock. I mean, a lot of times my spouse will just take care of it if I'm doing something like this, but I do pitch in on it, obviously. Yeah, no, that's okay. What did you miss? I don't know. We just searched online. People threw some points in the chat, and I think it was overall pretty fun. Now, need some weight on there, right? One way or another. See, I already don't like the way that's sitting. I don't like the way that's coming together. Trial and error, right? I think we're gonna try two glow in the darks. So it's like a double glow and bead. I don't know if I'm gonna throw it on there. And I think my problem is these are just too big. Yeah, the glow in the dark beads are too big for what I want to do. I might have to cancel the glow in the darks on the spinner. I thought glow in the dark would be a cool added touch, and I will try to catch a fish on this if we get it made. Oh yeah, nice. Those are vertical baits. They're actually not spinners. I didn't put the flask on them. They're technically for running off the dock. And I don't think we can go with the glow in the dark because they're just too big for what we're doing here. Um, hang on. Grew up in Newfoundland. Awesome. We're going back to throwing a red bead on there. And we're going to go. Anyways, let's just make this. Who cares if that bead's big on there, I guess. And we'll see if it works as a spinner or not. You can always clip it open, learn from it. It's going to be a goofy looking spinner. It's all because those glow in the dark beads are too big. Not happy with them. Be awesome if I could get sleeves. You know what I mean by that? Like, if they're one size smaller, I'd be much happier. Now I'm thinking here. Now, the problem with this is the flask. We might have to have one more tungsten above that. And then it's going to be fairly heavy, but it's a fairly big Colorado blade. The other one I made was super heavy, so this won't be quite as heavy as that. Let's see. Oh, where did I put that Colorado blade? I mean, I got more of them, but there it is. So, let's see here. Which way do we want this? This way, right? And this is an actual flask, like a. Oops. I got hundreds of these. I can make hundreds of spinners because that's what I originally wanted to make before I even tied. I found these flasks and these. Well, that's pretty cool. Which tells me by throwing this blade on, that's a big blade. That's a big blade. So it's almost like we need a bit more body. I think if I go, let's throw, which is bummer because I got to take this off. Got any chartreuse white beads? No, closest thing I got is these. I have red ones. These. I have some other colored. I have orange tungsten beads, and I have like a gas color, multicolored rainbow kind of thing beads. Yeah, it's a mini five. Yeah, 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 yeah. I forget what size of blade that is. By throwing the blade on there, I'm like, we need a little more body. By the looks of it, I don't really like those. Whoops. I wish I bought one size smaller of these glow in the dark beads. I mean, definitely they're gonna work for something and be. It's still a good add to the arts and crafts, right? I hope that's not too much bottom weight. Actually, I'm thinking we're looking for a balanced weight. So technically, between the blade, these three tungstens, these, and then this and the blade would probably close to match. It might still be a little less than those. Because technically, for two tungstens, I'm trying to make up the weight of this, and I think two tungsten beads are heavier than this blade and um, flask or whatever you call them. So now we have a little more body. And see, these are the solid yellow. Part of me thinks if this was chrome on the back, the glow in the dark with the UV might react as it's spinning around the glow in the dark a little better. But I think we're almost where we want to be. Now, two things I can do. Well, I guess that's one way to keep it balanced. Because usually, if I throw a bead up here, it's got to be that side down. So that doesn't spin. What a weird looking spinner we're getting now. It's working though. It'll work as a spin. And then we go with a small red bead at the very top, I guess. Beadin.com. Okay. Garden, what's up, dude? Mini 5 diamonds. Yeah, pretty cool, eh? It's fun. Yep. I know I already saw your comment and mentioned it, but there we go. Now we loop that top, and then we can either do it two ways. We can take a shank. I have shanks, and we can decorate a shank. Or we can just dress a hook, dress a hook, get it onto there. Boom, we'll have a spinner made. So I think now, another blessed day for sure, Garden. For sure. Yeah, isn't that cool, Lumi? You like that? I like those colors you put down there. Yellow, red. Yeah, I like that. I like that. You know what I mean? Good. And I think the fish will like it. That is a big size. I forget what number, 6 or 9. I mean, we can hold it up to a number 3. Actually, I put those ones we made earlier today. Yeah, we'll put we'll dress the put a dress on the hook. Yeah, we're gonna tie a nice. We're gonna complete this fully. Time we got. We're 8:50. We're in good shape. And originally, when I first started making baits, said it like 10 minutes ago, it was all about making spinners. I bought these blades like 4 years ago. I tell you the honest truth. I've been collecting different things to make baits. My biggest thing was trying to make musky spinners. Another unique thing we could do with this one, we could make this a double. I wanted to get into that as making some double blades. Should we do that with this one? Just leave it like this. Double blade. Another question we got to ask ourselves before I go any further. Is that too much blade to body? Do I got to space that out a little more? So we go with, actually it won't be. Well, another thing we could do is look at, okay, so that's one we cleaned up today. We dressed the end here and we fixed that one up, right? Okay, well, you look at where that blade comes down off the body of this, it almost comes down to the edge of the, now looking at this one, whoops, hang on. Technically, that's what I was looking at. I was like, wait a minute, does that look out of place? Do we have to throw one more glow-in-the-dark bead in there or a bead in between those glow-in-the-darks? Again, we got to think about weight ratio too. There is a science to that. Now, or is that fine? It's spinning in the water. By the time we have our split ring on here, we can go with a larger split ring and a decent size hook. Are we okay just like that? Well, you see, comparing to that other spinner we were just looking at, I mean, we're only a bead away from it. Above the blade. But then we're going big to smaller. So like the idea of the body, you would put, if it was, I wish I had a smaller size blade ATC, the glow in the dark above. And the glow in the dark can't sit on here. Actually, it might be able to. You gotta have it, the top of a spinner, so just so it doesn't affect the spin at all. Gotta have something, but maybe that, I don't think, would the glass slowly dig into that glow in the dark plastic? I don't think it would. That's a thought we got to think of. We can try putting one on top of there and then having it in between so it's longer that way. Yeah, all right. All right, ATC. We'll do that. But we're going to pull the small red off first, and the red's going to be the top. I think that's what you meant, right? Another glow on the body, or like ATC said, we'll toss this on and have a look at it. See, I don't know. Throw one on the body to bring us up higher. I might do that for this one. Hang on. ATC, if I could have, I'm gonna order more of those glow in the dark beads, but I'm gonna order a couple mils less than that because I think that you're bang on with what you were thinking there. I just think that once we get that, I don't know. I think maybe we might add another one to the bottom body for this one. I think maybe. What do you guys think? Like, I like ATC's idea. I just wish our bead was a tiny bit smaller size. It's too big for that top. You know what I mean? You guys, anyone agree? Oh, you got a small Ziploc of small ones? All right, I'll have to email you an address. Cause I got rid of my PO box. Wasn't worth having it on the body, eh, Paulsway? I see you there, bro. Blade seems to be too big. Add more on the bodies. Paulsway was saying that. It's an inline spinner. Steel City we're gonna make, not a harness. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. Okay, you have some smaller ones. Either or I'm gonna put it together. You know, when you order some things and then you get all the things in and you're like, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that. I went through a little bit of that on just stuff I recently added to my order or whatever, right? Yeah, I think we're on track there with that. Our body's getting big, but we need to have it big. Like we all know, it's gotta proportion that here. I like the glow in the dark top bead too. This thing will really glow in the dark out there. And yellow, a little bit of red. I really wish that, see this, I put upside down. Because it's like for doing small flies and beaded, you put your hook through. That's what those beads are kind of for. So we put and that gives it tungsten to tungsten. Another thing I got thinking about making these baits with tungsten and the wire we're using, I guess tungsten to brass. Like you always think of oxidization, but nothing's oxidized. I made some stuff last year. I've used it. It's in the box. Nothing oxidized. That's what we got. And that's so close to that. If we go back to looking at the way the stock spinner, I got a Vibrix in here too. We can look at the way they're set up. So I think we're more matching. The blade comes down past on that. So, and that's where we're at here on that one. So we're a little higher now than what this. Let's check out the vibrance. See the difference in that one. So it's more of close to what we just made. Maybe that's a couple of points or millimeters further down. More matching the vibrance there, I think. Yeah. So this is right in between the length of the blade where it sits on the vibrances or the spinner. We went like a couple of points in between. I think that's a pretty cool looking homemade spinner already. I do. I think we're onto something. So now we're going to finish it off here. How much space do I want things to be able to move back and forth? You want a bit, right? Yeah. You don't want it too tight. Okay, where's my pliers? There's a few different ways and tools you can buy for this. This is, I think, the most easiest. I think the other ones might Ken classic pattern. Yeah, tried and true. Yeah, and insane. A variety in there. I will check it out. Uh, Canadian Fishman. I tell you, I do get this stuff on. I thought as already as good of a deal as I can already. How much space do we want there? I don't want to go because, hold on. Let's see. We wrap it this way. We give her another pinch. Wrap it this way. We give it another pinch. I'm getting close to it. I might have been. Hopefully this works okay. If not, we can redo it. That's the thing about this. I think we might just be perfect. It's hard to say. We're going to find out. Our initial loop went well. It's always hard. There is a measurement there. And I think I was just, I think a 16th lower or an 8th lower than I'd want to be. This thing's going to work fine though. So and then I just grab my side cutters and I clip off the waist. And I try to do it where I can get as close to it as possible. And we'll retie this if we're not happy with it. Yeah, it is. It's a classic. It's oh man, it's from now I want to get a finer pair of these side cutters where I can, and again, I needed to be an 8th longer, so, and I knew it looking at it, I just didn't want to end up with too long of a shank. This might be actually it might actually be just perfect. We'll see. But there's our body. Weight wise, with the three, we got the 3 tungsten at the back, the 2 tungstens at the front with the blade, and I'll show you the actual loop. So that's our stock loop that came with it, and that's our other stock loop that I just tied. So initially, does it spin free and clear? It most definitely does. I have 2 thicknesses of wire. This is a good test to see, because actually when I started making it, I kind of didn't. I pulled the blade out of the drawer and had a look at it and stuff. But this one, with this size of spinner, maybe we want to go the 1 gauge up from this on the wire, but maybe not. It seems fine. Yeah, I don't know. I think we did a good job. I think that is the other one I made was super heavy. I think that'll keep us. Let's finish this thing up in full. Let's get now when we look at it, did we want the body that long? I guess so, right? And all we can do is fish with it and find out. And my guess is all said and done, we are targeting the larger pike, or larger. At the end of the day, when this is done, dressed, and the right hook on the back. Let's see here. So it looks beautiful, guys. It looks beautiful. It really does. Looking at it like that. Charge it up and see how it glows. But it's arts and crafts. You get jiggy with it. It's tons of fun. Look at that thing glow. Look at that thing glow, right? I like ATC's idea of having that glow in the dark on that front, because then it'd just be another ball glowing on it, but that's pitch dark. It's too bad we couldn't have that blade glowing maybe too, or maybe just that with the blade spinning around it. It might add some, it's hard to say. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Those glow in the dark real good. There's our spinner. Now I mentioned before this other homemade spinner I made, but here's the problem. It's dressed already. Oh, no, it's not, because I tied that one the shank style. Hang on a second here. So this is the other spinner. I caught, you guys, some people saw me catch pike on this. One of my long forms, a couple of my pike long forms in the creeks. I use this. So this is one I made and refurbished. It works great. It works great. Beautiful working. And what it was is I just took apart an older Met that had the hooks all rusted off it. I added the glass beads in there and whatever, refurbished what I had. The shank, I think I might have, did I tie this online? On live? I might have. I might have. Again, maybe not. I could have tied, I forget when I tied this. But then I have shanks in the drawer, and I actually dressed the shank and then put on but you see that size of hook? It's too big. They gorf it. The pike hits it, the fish hits it, and it's like you're playing for keeps almost. Luckily, every pike I caught on this, I got to release just fine, carefully. But, and that shank, this allows this, so if they swoop it from the side, I always find that shank style spinner, when they just swoop it from the side or clip at it, usually you got them. I'm really happy with the spinner. But again, so what I'm getting at is I'm thinking on taking this hook off and getting a one size smaller hook for this spinner. And I think this hook is going to be better on what we just made to be a lethal pike, grabber. We dress this one up, toss her on there like that, boom, homemade spinner made tonight. I don't know, I think, that's what I think. Other than that, I got these stick baits that they're old, bought them 12 years ago. What are they like? Thunder sticks. I was just gonna go pull a hook off one of them to finish this off. Didn't mean it like what? ATC said what? Did you check that out? You deleted a line of glow paint on the blade would work good. Paul's way, good point. Paul's way, good point. Did I miss any? Thanks, Lumi. It is fire. You like it? Now we need testing stream. Yeah, I know we do. And that's the bummer about us getting off work and it being dark, right? And I know this wasn't made today, but if I could have was off work today and couldn't go anywhere. It sucks. But anyways, so that's fine. We'll get testing. That's the problem. It's got to be a weekend test almost because daylight, good for daylight. No matter what, I can't drive anywhere in time after work now before it's dark. It's just the where we're at. It's got to be during the day field test. Where's Raft? Did Raft come in? Why did they block? What's your comment? Why didn't they like it? Raf. Okay, Raf. What did you do? Yeah, his English isn't the first. He didn't mean it like that. Yeah, I'm not even gonna look at it. Raf, you're all good. Your English, your French list, or what do we call that? The mix between the two. Raf, you still there? You all right? Yeah. What do you? Okay, I'll look at it. Thanks for deleting it if it wasn't right. Okay, I think he meant you came in 10 minutes ago. Yeah, no, definitely ATC. Raf is pretty cool young lad. Anyways, yeah, he's yeah. But that's cool. Yeah, that's okay to clear that one off. How are you supposed to know too? So I really appreciate that. Colin, how's it going? How you doing, Colin? Yeah, Wrath is French, French immersion, full French. Parsley, we don't even have to. We gotta dress this. Colin, we just made a spinner here, homemade. I'm really happy with it already. We'll see how good it is, all in all, at the end of the day. I could pinch that clasp down a bit, but it's spinning nice. I think we'll be good. Homemade spinner. Homemade parts, I don't know. It's a glow in the dark with beads. The next one I tie, I'll just give it another eighth of space. It's not like it's too tight and everything will spin nice, so maybe this is what I want and none of that eighth of space. You notice we have to field test it and find out. Yeah, no, he's alright. Did he chat yet? He's a young lad out of Quebec. Don't worry, he's alright. Sometimes he'll mix English with French. Now I better just go ahead and take off the split ring off of this too, because it's going to get in the way of tying the dress. So, dressing this thing. We have red, glow in the dark, and gold. Do we just dress it with yellow and black, black and yellow? Or do we go with a red tail and yellow? Red and yellow. Looks like an algae. Yeah, it's Colorado blades. I know the algae blades are like in between that. Uh, uh, yeah, and I guess that would be a number 6 blade. What do you guys think? That's a number 6. Um, well, that's your number. So you're right, actually. Algae shape. It's like right in between. It's Colorado blade. So I know this is a smaller algae blade. Whoops. And then there's this. So that's a 3, and I believe this is a 6. But this is a Colorado blade. You know, algaes, they're not quite a Colorado, and they're not quite a French blade. I don't know which one the algaes are classified under. You see how this one's just a little more teardropped? It's, well, yeah, so close in between. So close. Looking like an algae. I hear what you're saying. All right. So I think that's an appropriate hook size for the bait. What do you guys think? Red and Rude, what happened, Colin? Oh, Rude, what's up, dude? How are you? Now, how much line do we have left here? I got more thread. Let's see, what do we think? Think that'll do this one? Hopefully it will. So we'll try to display this here. This is what we made. That I got to get a smaller blade for. Works really well. It got a lot of pike on it. And this is what we were putting in together here. Glows in the dark, right nice, man. And like earlier, I reminded myself that, yeah, oh yeah, tossing them at Long Point Bay, any great, like good Lake Erie Bay. I'm happy with the way this looks already. I know I'm gonna ATC. I know you mentioned about sending out those smaller glow in the darks. I mean, you're more than welcome to, of course. I appreciate that, and it's nothing for me to throw some in my shopping cart too, because there is another order I want to make, and I'm gonna order some more tungstens. Might make spinners all winter. Who knows? Okay, see you, Colin. I'll throw you blue next time you come in. I'm throwing everybody blue pretty much here. Rude, you want to be blue, bro? I don't really mind. I might refresh it, but I'll always add them back and stuff. Hey, Brooke, how's it going? What's going on, Brooks? Everybody's blue worthy. That's why I either have none or all of them or just a couple. I mean, everybody's at tag is showing in there. There's no favoritism or there's no favorites. Everybody's worthy, you know. I never want to think that, why ain't I blue or why ain't I this, you know. Try to be, oh, I like fishing. Michigan. What's up, dude? Appreciate the like. Brooks, hopefully you like the page. Yeah, we all love fishing. Everybody in here is into fishing. Connect around, buddy. We got Steel City Fishing. Lumi, she catches a lot of big fish, nice fish. ATC does a lot of cool things. We got Rude in the house, Colin camping. Everybody in here is into fishing and loves fishing. Paul's Way's in the house. Might get some content out of Paul's Way down the road. But everybody pretty much in here. That's a big old trib hook. Yeah, Michigan, you see this here? It's what we just made. You guys think that's too big of a hook for what we're making spinner wise? Think that's too big of a hook? I can dig deep and find a smaller one. If you're sticking around, Rude and stuff, and coming more often, I just don't like leaving tons of blues that may come once in a while. Either or though, bro, I don't mind you being blue at all. What's going on, Michigan? All right, let's get this tied. We're going with that hook. We're going with that monster hook, I guess. I think I saw a notification from your channel today, Michigan. I'll make sure I check it out. We're after monsters, big hook, so it's good. Red and yellow or black and yellow? Keep that red theme going and we go red and yellow. Make it, okay, I appreciate that. Make it for the, yeah, a walleye and pike, whatever hits it. I mean, really, a darn salmon will hit us big spinner bait. I mean, a spinner, anything's going to hit. We already know that with the smaller spinners, everything hits them. Really, I've caught a catfish off a spinner. I've caught a carp off a spinner. As crazy as that sounds, I've caught walleye, perch, white perch, pumpkin seed, blue, all the bluegill species. Like you say, the pike I've caught, muskie. Pretty much everything is. What's up, Mommy Ivy? How you doing? Pretty much everything is black and red. You know what? The Steel City, that's what I was thinking, because that black tail can always. Don't know what it is with that black tip or a black tail. Glow spinners work amazing. Yeah. Um. All right. That or we go for a look. So the angler looks. Does red look the same as black to them down in the water? Who knows? I like your idea of the yacht Raph in the house from Quebec. Uh, hmm. Carp on a spinner? No. And I've caught another thing, and I've had witnesses to these things. Um, Carp was in a small pond at a water down. It was like a pond. It's actually the pond technically, as that pond overflows, it flows into the grindstone technically. But yes, I did get a carp to, and I also have caught a big carp next to my personal best. There was a witness angler with me when I caught that too. It was a big common carp. Also, I caught a big common carp on a red devil spoon, hooked in the mouth. So whether I just happened to both of those fish, yeah, I might have casted it and just brought that spinner right past it, and it was like a reaction to it, maybe on the carp. I'm not saying they were feeding on a minnow, but I think luck of the draw. When I tossed it out, reeled in. It's just like that, you know, boom. And a red devil spoon and a spinner, I have caught a carp off in my life. Red deep down is dark gray, yeah. Red is second in darkness to black, yeah. So I like the Steel City saying the black and the yellow. We'll go red and yellow because it's close to the same thing. Yeah, okay, so you're familiar with them hitting lures. Dan broke your fly rod. Grass carp on a fly rod look like a black leech, eh? So cool, Michigan. What's up there, Weasel? Appreciate you coming in. What's up, bro? You see, there's the example. Wicked Weasel with the at tag, right? With the at tag to the, but I know it's Wicked Weasel. How you doing, Wicked? We tied this here. We're having a little bit of fun. We talked about sturgeon, and then we got tying this spinner. Now all that's left to do is dress the hook. We're going for monsters, so we'll go with that big hook. It's definitely a bigger spinner than the last one that this hook was on. High quality hook. I've caught a lot of pike on this hook already. Durable. Yeah, so we're gonna go because I think pleasing the fish, black would be better for whatever reason. I know red is the next thing to black, but for pleasing the angler's eye, we're gonna go red feather and then yellow on the outside. We can go as far as going red feather. We could go a little bit of flash boo and then some yellow. Why don't we try that out? So feathers. Here we go. We're getting down to the. Ooh, we could even go as far as putting some. Oh, I got an idea. We could put 5 strands of red. We can go with the red feather to start off with. We can go the yellow. Then we can go 5 strands of the ostrich feather. 5 strands to make up for the 5 diamonds. Now we're thinking. Sporting the camel hat. I got a camel hat in here somewhere. I got a Bill's Bait and Tackle hat, my favorite tackle shop of all time. My local tackle shop, right? So there's a red. You might want to put multiple reds out the back. Not this red. See how it rounds off and it's a bit odd shaped? Not for this spinner. Oh, okay. Okay, good. ATC speaking French to Raft. That's good. We're running low on reds, actually. We might be forced to use that one I just had. No way. In here, there's got to be more reds. That one. There's this one. It's not what we want. There's that one. There's this one. So there's 3 reds. I don't know what we should do. When it comes to me talking about that ostrich feather, if it's too much, it's too much, and we won't do it. But we'll just start tying it as we go. And for the yellow, we're not going to go with that super bright chartreuse yellow. We're going to go with more of that standard. I'd say that's more of the standard yellow, even though that's still pretty bright. Standard bucktail yellow or whatever. Who knows? So I think we go with 3 feathers, kind of like this. We don't want to go. Well, that hook is fairly large. And which I should probably put a little bit of glue. on this right here, getting started. And like earlier, I realized and reminded myself that going with too much thread is not good. So we just want to get this on there, a wrap or two. We can singe anything like that off the actual hook spot. We got glue on there, first couple feathers. This hook. I should, like today, earlier was the first time I got these craft tools in my hand since, well, February, March. I can't say offhand, but as soon as I could, March, let me get fishing this year. I might have still been tying a bit in March. Okay, here, one more red feather. Yeah, it seems like we're going pretty heavy on the red, but we're not. The yellow's a strong color. If anything, at the end, we won't be heavy enough on the red. We'll see. But then, once we get this all said and done, I got a question for everybody in the chat regarding it. So I'm going to come down this shank of the hook a bit. And that's to tighten up. Hey, if a couple fish hit, that feather will be the first. These feathers will be the first one. Kind of. The bucktail should hold up a lot more. Remember what I said earlier, we don't want too much thread on there. I think that's a good start. Three feathers on there. Sometimes at this point I think, okay, am I going flash boo? Oh, guys, you know what we could do? Yeah, all good. Right on ATC. Me too. I should speak a lot more French than I do because I've had family speaking around French around me. Okay, a couple of options, which I think it might be going too far. I think I was talking about the flash boo. Now, is it in this drawer or the upper drawer? Where is it? That's not it. But where is it? Oh, there it is. Which I don't think this is supposed to be glow in the dark flash boo. We're gonna have a charge and charge it up and have a look at it. And then I got some of this stuff it's not glow in the dark. Let's charge these up and see if any of this glows. I think the other flash boo is supposed to be some. Oh, it's glowing good. See that? The actual one that I thought would glow. Uh, let's see here. I don't want to. I know it's just because the body glows, so it's like. Look at that. Actually, that is glowing, guys. That is some serious glowing flash boo. Now, because of how much the body of this glows, should we should the tail glow a little bit? Should I put like some strains of glow and then go with the yellow? So like as this thing goes through the water, the body will be glowing and maybe a couple of strands in the tail in the dress part would be. Or is that going to be too much glow? I don't know what you mean. Normally the vice what? I don't know if we should hide some of that glow in the dark flash blue in with this yellow that we put on there. Oh man. And I don't know if it'll put it to the point that it's too much. No, you saying comment? What are you saying, Raf? Yeah, we're speaking fish, Raf. You think it'd be too much as well, eh, Paul? I do too, for this one. I can only agree with you, Paul, 100%. Maybe we get into some of this when we're tying like some small crappy stuff, crappy glowing little jigs. I want to do a lot of glow in the dark. Glow in the dark does work well. But I think Paul's way is right, guys. I think it's too much. I agree with him. What do you think? Eh? I agree with him. But that's pretty cool that we saw how much this flash blue actually does glow, because that does glow a lot. Straight up, it'll fall aside. Oh, don't worry, Ras. Oh, don't worry about this. This is going to be really good. Lure is good for mackerel. Yeah, you see what we're doing here, Raf? Are you up to date on the stream? Hit to live? Are you on the... Sometimes that can happen. That's what we're looking at. That's what we made. And that's what we're looking at finishing. So, I think Paul's right. The glow in the dark on the tail will be too much. Rude, you're good with everything? Uh, yeah, trying to sell beer to a fish in a late night environment. Talking about the flash for mackerel, getting a good flash on there. Yeah, I'd like to catch a mackerel. They're so cool looking. They're such a cool looking fish. All right, I'm gonna agree with Paul. We're not gonna put the um. Again, I'm rookie at tying. See how this goes. I'm only gonna go little by little, and we're gonna go ahead and have some waste. I found it before where I've tried to leave some on the bucktail, and then later on it just kind of screws me around a bit. And this buck was a big buck, man. That is a big bucktail. I don't know if that goes by age, but the hair on it too is really straw-like. I find, obviously, that's probably the same thing with us humans, everything else. I mean, the older we are, I think the more, like my hair is fairly strawy at my age, it seems, you know what I mean? And I think that's just, it was an older buck or something. And these bucktails, they're on the females too, right? They're not just on the bucks. They're white-tailed deer. And all the deer, they just call them bucktails. And I guess we're missing some of that content. Don't mind my mess over there. Where are we at here? Come on now. There we go. There we go. My bad. Yeah, just stuff piled up over here. It's totes and clothes that I actually wear, work clothes, and laundry room. We're chilling in the laundry room, right? Purple. Yeah, not on this one though, Rude, but I get it. Purple and yellow. But just because we're going the red and yellow theme on this one, we're going to hold off on the purple. Just on this one, that's all. But yeah, purple is a very good color. A lot of professionals really talk about purple a lot of times on how it's one of their favorites. Again, it's a darker color, just like black and red. Whether or not it does the same thing down there, I think it's a fairly close, similar outcome of shades that the fish see. And we don't want too much line on this. Let's clean off what's not sticking. And we don't want it overly dressed neither. Let's see. I wasn't completely happy with my progress on the smaller ones I did earlier. I don't know. I don't know why. It's like I wanted to tie a bucktail jig right away just to see if that was gonna. And I found too the strawier bucktail is harder to work with. Like the more. No, but it's a wet fly because bucktail is a wet fly, not the dry fly. So like a foxtail is your dry fly kind. I got foxtail. Like a foxtail, but bucktail it's a wet fly. Anything bucktail. I know it's not looking too hot this second. We got to go more yellow. I don't know. I looked at it that I had a challenge earlier too. I found, and already me putting on these smaller amounts at a time makes me have more thread building up there. So it's just I find it's like a happy medium of dry deer body. Dry deer body still works out to be a wet fly as far as I'm concerned. As far as I've known and always been told. As long as your next layers don't go surpast what you already had, because you're thinking on staggering it, right? Like, see, that's almost getting. We need that there, though. I think we need that there. And I'll try to. We'll be able to cover all that up. Now we're getting a little better. And if I tighten down a bit there, should poof out that. Give us a little more poof. One more there. One more here, maybe. Got that there. There we go. Use deer body. All right, on. I've always known bucktail jigs to be the opposite of that, but hey, it's all good. Again, we're getting a bit much of a knot there already. I think we need that little bit on there. Bummer. So yeah, I know my thumbnail is a sturgeon. So we are. Anybody has anything to throw in about sturgeon? Feel free yet, right? We go with a little bit more on this side. We poof that out with yellow. Kind of right on that hook area. Let's see here, yeah. I think that was pretty cool. We went from talking sturgeon, we talked a little bit about all species, and then we went to making this thing. So I think that's super cool. Hope everybody's having a good time. We got 12 people hanging out, 13 people hanging out. We got 30 likes. Earlier stream it ended up because we had some replay viewers afterwards that watched it and liked it. Could have been friends of mine or whatever, work friends or whatever too, that just hopped in and hit the like at some point. But after I saw it was 57 likes. Pretty cool. I think we want to go right there, I think. Right here. Yeah. Still rusty at the proportions. On the amount to put on at once, etc. But let's see here. If I get this on here and I can just spread it out a bit. I can get some loops around here. See if I can spread this out a bit. And it's going to look like a black bead too. Kind of. Let me pull this off. Actually, I got to get a few wraps on this, so just in case it unravels a bit on us. Still got lots of line on there for the tie. Let me have a look at this here. I don't think we want to overdress this. At the same time, too. I don't. Just like earlier on the maps. You look at the dressings you buy from the store on them. I think too much can affect the way it travels and looks through the water. If this stuff hits the water, it gets a lot smaller too, right? I don't know. It's like, do we dress it any more than that? Like, look at what we're looking at here. Do I bother with the ostrich hair? Man, I don't know. That's on there pretty tight. Nothing's pulling out of there. What do you guys think? King, there you are, dude. I meant to give you a wrench earlier, bro. My bad. How you doing, King? We're making this one, brother. We started talking about sturgeon and stuff. We did some research online. We did some research online, King. We're just shooting the crap about sturgeon a bit, and then we made this thing. The body really glows in the dark. It's kind of, we just started from scratch on this, went through the stuff I had to make it. We had to sort beads around and stuff like that, try to figure out how it would end up best, but boom, got an actual spinner made here just about. And we just went with the theme of the yellow and red, man. Yellow and red. And I don't think I'm going to dress that up anymore. Part of me thinks, okay, it could have a little bit fuller, but I don't think so. In line, run this through the water. I think any bigger would be. I don't even think you'd have to minnow it, but yeah, you could. I guess you could throw a stinger on it and run a dual arm on it, or you could, yeah, minnow, just piece of minnow maybe, sure. Yeah, a stinger hook. Yeah. Well, you think this thing's gonna the fish will like that? You think that's good creation? Now, once we just get this tied and knotted up, we're just going to go with that dressing, and that's it. That's how we're going to leave this one. I'm going to tie this up really good. We're going to cover up all the rest of the yellow. Right up here. I'm ready to knot this thing up, I think. How's that side look? Yeah. Dude, I like it. And I guess it could be a little more dress, and then more than that would be too dress. We're just going to go with that. I think that looks, I think we're good there. Let's see here. Oopsie. Now, next stream, I'm sitting here with a bare hook, whipping tool, and we're just going to rapidly whipping tool. We're going to rapidly whipping tool finish the same hook over and over again. Now, how was I pulling this off last year? I was whipping tooling by hand. It was pretty darn close to the same idea. Let's just get this thing knotted up, and then by the time I had cement the crap of it, nothing. It doesn't. The initial knots on it. Uh-oh. That screwed me though. Right, what I just did there. It's okay. There is a knot in like a one loop knot. That's okay. You just knot this up. I'm gonna head cement it. I'm gonna tie more around it and then knot her up again. That's tying. That's homemade jigging. It won't come apart. The head cement will really do its job. Or maybe it's weird because it's not a jig head. No, this would be the same as a jig head. There's no difference. Get the knot back here where I can bury it. Hang on. Knot back here where I can bury it. Bury it with head cement and then do a wrap over top of it. Yeah, so let's knot it up. Enough that it'll work. I'm going to singe it, put a little bit of glue on it, and then wrap some line around it. Believe it or not, I had cement the crap out of that. It's good anyways, but we're not gonna do that. We want this to be valuable and have a good chance of holding on this, which it will, no doubt. There we go. Whoops. Oh, that'll be okay. It's custom. And this homemade stuff, it's all custom. All right. I'll knot the crap out of this again. Then I'll head cement it again. 1, 2, 3. That's better. That is better. Much better. Now. And I've tied jigs like this, head cement. Actually, I tied them not even using the head cement, and I wasn't happy with them, so I had to take my X-Acto knife to the threads to get them off, like to cut them off. Like it's still pretty durable. This real fine thread here. I know I'm not whip finishing this yet. We're gonna do that though. It's just more formal or politically correct, I guess. You're talking about baits. Come on, you. I'm gonna say, like, you know what I mean? Politically correct. You get out your whip finishing tool. I know there's people that do it by hand real easy too with this little. Man, I find it a challenge, and I think I just gotta practice it a bunch instead of just tying. I gotta sit down and literally. Oops, we don't want to be around the front. That's what I was just trying not to do. But you know what? This little black ball on the end here, that's all part of this design. Like I always said, those dark colors with black just make a fish so I don't know what a fish is going to think when they see this. I think they're going to hit it. Sure I do. Man. '80s in Louisiana. Oh man. In the river? In the river? You go by the river today? There we go. Now this one will be towards the back of that. That's where we want that. Doing all right, Jefferson. How are you? Welcome in, buddy. Welcome in. You first time here, bro? It's a nice name, Jefferson. There, that's nice and tight. That knot. That cement's going to do the job on my stuff here. 60s in the morning. Sure, we'll be in 30s. I don't know. It's cold out there now. I didn't really look at the 10-day. Let me cinch that again. Put some head cement on, let it dry, and we're going to put it on our spinner, guys. There, nice little bit of warmth, lighter on that thread. Everything's almost slightly made synthetic nowadays, right? Boom. Coat that up nicely with head cement. Dude, it's one. That's it. That thing is one. No fit. Even a fish teeth. My X-Acto knife will have trouble getting through it. Been there, done that. Freedom units. I don't know what you mean. Oh, yeah. And I figured out. I was thinking the other week. I said, "Oh, I don't know why we're Celsius to Fahrenheit. I don't know if it's a thing with more of the northern hemisphere because those Celsius, it's all worked around the freezing temp. So 0 is the freezing temp. So it's like, I don't know. It might sound strange, but I was thinking, okay, what's the deal with this? Didn't I have one more? Yeah, there it is. I don't want to get careless with all my beads and stuff. Uh, yeah, and I'm like, okay, I get it now. So, like, Celsius to Fahrenheit, at some point in time, it was converted over, I believe, I don't know, it's probably taught to us in a school, but I might have skipped that day or forget it. But I was thinking that totally makes sense. It's revolved around that freezing temp, you know? So for the northern hemisphere in our weather, we know whether it's not going to be icy or not just by that 0 things freeze. It's might be a weird way to look at it, right? Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I know it's simple. I know, but I didn't know that. And then I thought, oh, I thought of that, but obviously I said, well, obviously, and that's why at some point there was the 2 or the converted. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat, I tell you. So there's moving our scraps. Always got to try to clean up. And then when I get tying like the floor here, I got to sweep up and you end up with little bits of waste because what am I going to do with that, right? I throw it out. Bag right here for it. Oh, we're just going to let that dry up. I think that turned out okay. I'm happy with it. The only other thing I was going to do was put 5 of these wrapped around it, but I think let's just roll with that. All right. These things I found, I've used them before. When the fish hit them and stuff, these are more brittle. They'll only last on the dress thing so long. They're not super durable. The ostrich feather after it's dyed and whatever, dyed and dried. But it's a cool ad for visual looks. The last one I made, I did that with. I put 5 of these wrapped around it. Put this in feathers. Guess we can set up our. I don't know, but I think it's been a win already. I don't know what you guys think about this spinner. Oh, you have a good hoodie? What am I missing here? You're gonna be, This is glue. Jefferson, this stuff here. Sorry about that. I can miss comments and I apologize. I'm never ignoring anybody. I feel so bad. My friends will type in and I'll be paying attention to this and then I just look at this spot of the chat. So I miss some stuff and I feel so bad. I'm never ignoring anybody. It's flyhead cement. So I guess, yeah, glue. Alright, let's get split ring here. This one I could use split ring pliers for, but once they're at this size, I just toss them on here. Split ring here. And I think we should give that 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes and we're going to have a finished spinner. It's hot in here. My furnace just clicked on. Let's get that head cement to dry up a little bit. I put lots on it. Who likes summer? You're the winter girl? Oh, okay, Karen. 3 degrees for the rest of the world? What am I missing? It's okay. I understand Canada. Yeah. Yeah, I apologize a lot. Well, because, I appreciate everyone and I miss comments and like I just don't want anyone to feel, oh, does he ignore? No, I would never ignore anybody, especially the awesome people in my chat, like or in this channel's chat. There's a lot of good folks in here, so I never want to disrespect any of them, obviously. Of course, as you know. I think that was a win. Took me a long time to make it, I guess. But we're chatting and stuff like that. Turtle wins the race. You could start popping the bodies together real quick once you had a. We brainstormed this, prototyped it, and made it. Before we can make another one, we got to see how this works. Because weight ratios, a lot of different things. You never know until you cast this in the water as a test to see how it's going to go. Paul, I think you were right on leaving the glow in the dark out of the dress. If you're still there, I think you are, bro. I hope you are. If not, it's okay. We all have different things we got to do. Okay, 2 more seconds because I don't want to put a tiny bit more on it. This thing's for musk. Technically, you cast this in front of a muskie. You cast it in front of a pike. Like I say, cast it in front of a salmon. You get it anywhere. Like that big one I made. Where is that bait? It's in my boat. It is in my boat. It's heavy. I gotta get a scale. I gotta get a small. Yeah, nice, Paul. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah. was just saying again that you're right about the glow in the dark, but that stuff does glow in the dark a lot. We're gonna use it. Crappie glowing jigs. I got bodies, material that glows. Crappies bite at night, as we all know. I think crappies bite at night. Out of those panfish, crappies and rock bass, I think, bite the best at night. White perch bite pretty good too. Yellow perch, I'm a believer. I've caught a few at night, but I've seen schools of white perch just sitting and kind of doing nothing altogether at night. And I think that's because they're sleeping. They're chilling. In the morning, they get up early. I don't know if anybody else thinks that about yellow perch or not. But, maybe a little black in this tail would have been good too. We do have some using the black thread, so it's almost like a little black egg. A little bit of dressed, who knows? And then a red egg, and then glow in the dark body. We'll see. All right, 2 minutes and we'll finish this up. Even the pike spots I fish being fall, I could throw this lure. It's not. I'm normally throwing the number threes and smaller bodies of waters and areas for those pike and stuff, but I could throw this. I think they'd hit it, especially it being fall, like this time of year. Hey, last year those pike, uh, you know, once the first, which has already happened, the whole changeover from being at 75 to 85. Some of our ponds were almost 90 at times this year. Really, 90, 85. There was a lot of ponds at ponds, creeks, whatever. Even these spring-fed creeks, they run through lots of farm fields after they leave that spring. That water warms up. I think this was the warmest water we've seen. I didn't get out in Lake Erie in the base to see what the water temps were there this summer, but man, I know the river was bath water. A lot of places bath water. The spring-fed, a lot of spring-fed creeks were warmer than normal. They cooled down fast though. And the spring, it just wasn't like, that sun, that UV dies down, everything, and the heat. That water's not getting warmed up out of the spring. So it's been, you know. All right. I'm going to give that 2 more seconds, guys. Let me just grab a water from my front door, if you don't mind. I'll be 30 seconds, and then we're going to finish that up. Which, let me leave this here for a second. Uh-oh, guys, that's fine. I'm going to pop outside here for 2 seconds. And then I guess I'm going to have, I got a 2 liter Coke. I'm locked in here. So I'm locked in my basement. Sound. We good? What's up, Shannon? How you doing? Thanks for coming in. You can hear me now, though, eh, Karen? We good? Are we good? Yeah, all good now. My bad, guys. I came back in. I forgot I took my earpiece out. How you doing, Shannon? Thanks for coming in. If you're having a good evening, we just made the spinner. All right, so um, yeah, thanks. So I think that was a win. What do you guys think? If we see a catch fish, it's a win. But I think The good old 5 of diamonds. It's kind of a neat spinner. I think one size down of the glow beads would be even key, and then a smaller size below that for the top. Part of me thinks that. We'll see how durable it is. I'm confident with the hook. I've caught lots of fish with the treble we put on there. Thanks, Paul. Thanks. We could doctor it up with scissors a little bit more, but the bucktail is fairly even. It looks way different once it hits the water anyways too, right? But next we just see if it catches fish. So we make a spinner like that. We try it in the water. We catch a few fish on it. Now here's my question. Right on, ATC. Thanks. Thanks, Shannon. That's the hope. Yeah, Steel City, right on. Uh, yeah, now it's a nice fish. You got to check that out if you haven't seen it, Shannon. Now, here's my question. What's it worth? What's this spinner worth? What would a spinner like that be worth, right? Like, I wish. No, can't. I know it's almost bedtime. Work tomorrow. Get some hours in. But I wish, man. I wish. 15 bucks, Steel City? Good one. I guess you're bang on. I'd say you're bang on, right? I would say, for sure. 15 bucks. Yeah. Anyone else have an opinion? 12 to 15 bucks, Shannon? Yeah. And see, that pretty much is the same as Steel City's 15 bucks. Because is that $12 USD? To me, $10 USD would be just because, the value of the money difference and stuff. I think, like, you know, cost of material times 4 times. 12 to 15. Good one, John. Yeah, good one. Yeah, I'd say you guys are. I'd say, yeah, we're bang on to that. Yeah. Retail 8 to 10. If you want to market something, make kits for people to make their own. There's kits available out there for people. 8 to 10 retail. Boy, you got to see what's a mass produced MEP worth, right? Or what's a Vibrix worth, depending on where you buy it. So when you look at that, you have a mass produced lure, what they're on the shelf for. I mean, and that's at a number 3 or a number 4. If you get into a number 5 or a number 6 MEP, you're going up even a little further. If it's dressed, you're going up even further than that. I think the number 5s and number 6s MEPs, depending on where you get them from dressed, it'll, yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, the 8 to 10, I think just technically anything off the shelf in the store that's mass produced is going for that. Or, I mean, actually, no, like, I mean, just a regular number 3 MEP. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, I see what you mean. Make 4 or 5 of them. Nice little custom. I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah, okay, ATC. Yeah, yep, yep, yep. That's right. When you go, I get your point there. Good idea. You're exactly right. Like, that's a great idea. Totally get your point now. Guess so. That is a big fish. It's like, I don't know, for me, is 13 bucks. Yeah. Plus 14% or 13% on each dollar. or unless you were including that. Depends on where you get them. I mean, between sale, Canadian Tire, Bass Pro, and say like our tackle shops. Um, in a little wooden box. Yeah, cool. Yeah, Shannon. Thought of that for like the bucktail jigs too. A little box of 4 different kinds of colors. But I think spinners is a fun. I mean, I love fishing with spinners, so when you start making something you use a lot, it means more. Because the jigs, bucktail jigs, I'll use them in spots where it's like dam fishing. You want to drop it down 25 feet, tip it with a minnow, shake it around. It's like fishing openers or I don't know. What's $10 US in Canada? I don't know, what is it, 13.50? Is it $14? 14 bucks after the bank's points, I think. I don't know, something around there. 13.50, 14 bucks. Pretty sure. Close to it. Well, guys, 10:15, eh? Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll ever catch one that big, Loomy. 7/12, 1405. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. 1405, Karen. Okay, and then John did the $10 US is $7.12 Canadian. You're not allowed to write a dollar sign on the live, eh? I didn't know that. I never knew that before, John. Interesting, man. Yeah, you just did. Huh. Interesting. Paul's ways, driving them in. ATCs, dropping them in. Hmm. They wouldn't let you, John, on your side? Oh, thanks, John. Oh, yes, it gets flagged as an auction happening. Interesting, John. So we'll be looked at now, I guess, maybe. We're rebels. Right on, Shannon. Yeah. Hmm. Well, we made a spinner. I'm going to let that sit there till morning, drying up. Nice glossy head cement on there. Hopefully draws viewers. Yeah. Oh, do you? ATC? Oh, okay. Hmm. Rude, what's up, dude? What do you think? You like it? Nice. Awesome. Oh, we got a lure to try. We'll throw it in local creeks and ponds before it's iced over. Let's try to catch a fish on this in the next. I mean, even a smaller pike will hit it for sure. And it might be like nothing they've ever seen before. Just nail it. That's what I'm hoping. maybe a Grand Muskie spinner. Well, that was always my plan. Like when I bought these blades, I'm gonna buy bigger blades, and we're gonna make a dual spinner, big, huge muskie spinner. Been the plan for a while, John. I just got to order some bigger blades, which I'm gonna look at those next, and then some different body material. I like some of the glow in the dark theme. We went yellow on this, 5 of diamonds. Got the red beads on there and a little bit of red in the dress tail. I think it's pretty cool. Maybe the little bit of red ostrich, five strands of the ostrich would have standed for the 5 diamonds, but I think we're good there. I don't have a scale steel city. I need to get one though. You know what? I could probably order one of them when I order a couple more things I want to order for making baits, and it's probably what off $10 or something. Oh, 18 centimeters in length. I don't know. I got a tape measure upstairs, but 18. Yeah. I don't know. We got to know that too, though, don't we? In total, not including, I guess, hook, base of hook, steel to steel. Whether we're 3 3/4 there or we're pushing 4 inches there. Oh, right on, Colin. That's cool. Well, we made a spinner, Colin. I'm happy with it. Let's see if it catches fish. It's got some good leader too with that length, you know? Big fish hits it. It'll be away from the line a little bit, right? Yeah, I'm wondering what it weighs too, and that's a must. That's the same thing with these other baits I made, been playing with. I'm just hoping when I weigh them, it rounds off to a close quarter, 3/4. Get what I mean? Like I'm hoping it, because I have no clue. John, like I said, I think it's like, yeah, I'm not sure. It is a bit long, eh? I think it has to be. I think I don't know. They did they? Yeah, respect, right on. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Well, guys, honestly, it's getting too late for me to stay on. I just got to get ready for bed and all that. And I missed the kids going to bed tonight, but that's okay. It sounds like when they did go to bed, they went to bed well for their mom. Yeah, I love the hip, of course. Hmm. Yeah, I'll have to get a scale. We'll figure out what these things weigh, but that's important. Well, we got 32 likes, guys. Everybody in the stream hit the like. We got 9 people hanging out. Before we shut it down, last check, last call for likes. Oh, the video game. Oh, we got another like there. Thanks a lot. I so appreciate it. You thought that you meant the game as well. Yeah. Well, all right, guys. I think I got to shut things down for the night. I appreciate everybody hanging out. I hope it was fun. Thanks for everyone that was involved in the sturgeon talk. Thank you so much, Karen. I don't want to forget anybody. Everybody's awesome. That was cool. I think talking about a fish, if we could set that up a little better where we have the background. I've recommended this same thing. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate that. Um, I've recommended it to other people as well. You pick a topic, you get that StreamYard or something. I can't get that figured out. But yeah, thanks. Right on, guys. I think that was fun and we'll do it again. And we can do it elsewhere too. I mean, it's just pick a topic and away we go. But yeah, right on, John. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Lumi, ATC. Thank you so much. Colin, right on. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you guys. Steel City, right on. Paul's Way. Everybody, Karen. I don't want to forget anybody, which I'm not. Everybody that was in here tonight, I appreciate your support and your friendship and hanging out. It's cool. I wouldn't. Right on. All things. Your place is a cool place to be as well, and they're right chill, just the same. I think so. Right on. Good channel. Everybody connect ATC. All right, guys. We'll talk to you. I'm sure we'll talk to you tomorrow. Everybody have an awesome night. Eh? Tight lines. Have a good Tuesday, guys. All right. Be safe. We'll see y'all tomorrow or whatnot. Thanks, guys.